Each and every day, boxes always pay, 'cause I'll take you to where the sun shines, loading you along with my crew. We'll head into space and ship any place that's cargo. Packed up nice and tight, commerce feels so right, transporting you to where the stars shine, moving you the way that I do. We'll always see it through. Our credit will accrue. My cargo, and I will find through.
Uh-oh. I mean, uh-oh.
We really have to.
Is it time? Yes, it's time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Roundtable, episode number 443. Let's change that number.
I don't want to talk about this mess.
What mess? CitizenCon was last week. Everything's great, because we all love CIG, and they're doing great things.
We have moved on.
Already?
Except for you, we. No, we hasn't moved on.
It's kind of funny because last week's show was like so close to the end of CitizenCon. It was like literally the day of Sunday, and you know everything hasn't settled yet at that point. Now everything has settled, and communities in uproar. Reddit was on fire. What else happened? It was a bunch of crazy shit.
Everything was on fire.
And Spectrum was on fire as well, and the devs were on total what do you call it? Like damage control
disaster
mode.
Recovery.
Disaster recovery, damage control.
Well, actually, I don't think it was that bad. There was only one thing that was really, really bad. And I blame the community for it because they obviously did not read the original post, went off the deep end, and then they had to clarify it and basically said the same thing, but with the added caveat that, yeah, you're still going to get it.
What was this? I didn't even follow it myself.
That was the Galaxy.
Yeah, so that's shit. I didn't even follow it because at some point I was totally lost. I saw it pass by on Reddit all the time, and I was like, I already forgot what that was about. And can anybody give us a TLDR on what? It was something out of CitizenCon, right? So something.
So basically, the Galaxy wasn't mentioned in the crafting presentations.
No.
Wasn't mentioned at all.
Nothing.
Then John Crew posted on Spectrum from a request, and he said, we don't have a plan to work on it at this time. We don't have it on the schedule. We don't have this. We don't have that until it actually gets put into the store. It's not a done deal kind of thing, right? So he gave it more of a technical answer than just saying, it's not on the roadmap right now. We'll eventually get to it. The fucking community went off the deep end saying, you promised us a fucking module that we would use to build bases, and now you're reneging on it, and that's why you built the Starlancer. Right? And then so he went back and basically said, okay, I misspoke. You are going to get it, but you're still not going to get it right away because we're not going to work on the Galaxy.
But you promised us.
You'll get it sometime after 1.0 comes out.
I bought the Galaxy because you told us that you were going to make it.
Well, they said he clarified. He says, "Yeah, we're going to make it for you. It's not going to be pretty, but
you said you weren't.
so now they're like, now everybody's happy because they like, okay, I'm going to get the thing, right? But it still hasn't sunk in to these people that you ain't going to get it before the Starlancer comes out.
But you promised us.
There are no current plans to have a base building mode for the Galaxy. That doesn't mean there will never be.
Right.
The only confirmed module, in addition to the ones in the pledge store, is the manufacturing module.
Right. They went from the very first line where he just said there isn't anything planned, and then they stopped right there and fucking torched the whole fucking internet instead of continuing to read the things like level-headed individuals and understand that
lied to me, John.
You're gonna get it later. Maybe.
Well,
I don't like you, John, anymore. You're not my friend. I'm not gonna buy any more ships now because you lie all the time.
That's the same. Yeah, but this, I don't. This is a common thing. Yeah, you're right. You're right about this because this is a common thing about the fact that has happened in so many other occasions too. Even like especially with other game development studios. Even with what was it like? With Blizzard when they announced like the freaking mobile Diablo game at BlizzCon.
Yeah, Diablo Immortal
to an audience. Yeah, to an audience that was mainly PC players, and everyone was asking, "Is there going to be a PC version for this?" And they were like, "They correctly answered at that time. We currently have no plans to make one for PC," and obviously that happened anyway because everyone was like, they realized their main audience was PC players. They wanted to make a phone app, a phone game, but obviously a lot of PC players wanted to play it too, and not on their phone. So they made it for PC anyway, even though they initially said we don't currently have any plans. So you really have to, and you really have to take that literally when they say they currently have no plans, because they don't have it scheduled. That doesn't mean it'll never be there.
Said
that's exactly what he said.
Build it. And that's the only answer I'm going to take. And I'm now going to run off now with my megaphone and I'm going to scream,
"You're
hell
not giving
eternal.
us a building module for the Galaxy. You never will have it."
And then people kind of like, well, why aren't you building the Galaxy? And it's like, well, because we need the assets. And he put it in a technical way. He says the assets we have from the Polaris are more in line with the assets for the Perseus, so we're going to build the Perseus first. What he really meant to say was, we're building the Perseus first because there's nothing to go up against the Polaris. So we need to build the fucking Perseus so that someone can fucking keep the people in the Polaris in check.
Shared assets with the Polaris.
Yeah, that's basically what he said.
Now, what he's saying, he's shafting all the backers. And he's stealing all our money.
It's not him.
Oh, it's all him.
It's not him.
It's all him.
No, it's not him.
Yeah. Well, I'm just reading what the internet says.
I will say though that CIG did they had the Galaxy out the year before. Then they introduced the Galaxy again last year. As having one of those modules, and I'm sure they had it planned all along, up until recently, and then they said, and he kind of alluded to it. It's like it's gonna be hard to get it to work right in the Galaxy. It may not be something that we want to do, and of course, when shit doesn't work, you just don't do it. But the community it's gonna be a piece of shit when they get it. I'll tell you that. It's not gonna be as good. You'll have like 2 large drones in there.
Well, that's
whereas like
what Yeah.
With the
But these
Star Lancer, you
oh
have
my God.
four.
I would have expected that anyway because it's a modular ship. It's not a dedicated ship.
Yeah.
If it's dedicated to a role, then yes, it would have a lot. But no, it was never meant to be the be all and end all.
Yeah, so it's not even gonna be comparable to the Star Lancer. And here's the thing, right? So I got into not an argument. We got into a discussion in my guild chat about this very same topic, and I said, look,
Shameless.
the one guy said, yeah, but the Galaxy's a better product. I was saying sell the Galaxy and buy the freaking BLT, as I like to refer to it, the BLM, BLD, because you're going to get that before you get the Galaxy and the module. So unless you have a Pioneer, you are not going to build anything higher than a medium. And he's like, well, the ship's better because it has all these modules. I go, yeah, but the people that bought it for the shipbuilding, for the base building and stuff like that, bought it only for that reason. Not because if they had bought it for the modularity, they would have bought it the year before. It's like, just sell the damn thing and get yourself and it's cheaper too.
Look at the Atlas. Where's our Atlas base builder with the trailer? They promised a trailer. Look.
And these dumb YouTubers. They're shameless. Oh my God.
It's like, okay, so that was the one big. That was probably the biggest drama of all.
Aren't we YouTubers as well?
The next drama was, what about us solo players?
Oh yeah.
Look, just before.
Go ahead.
But just before that, because the thing about this whole thing about with John Crew is the level of saltiness about that reached a new level. It genuinely shocked me how whingy the community got, and really, they all just pounced on them instantly.
And I think it's mainly because this is crafting. This is something that everybody relates to in almost every single kind of game, especially people that play Star Citizen probably played Star Wars Galaxies, and the fucking, they were reminiscing of the days they played Star Wars Galaxies and did all the crafting and everything. And that's why it resonated so much with them, because they do not want to be denied the ability to do crafting. Right. And then that's why they made a huge uproar, and then that's why the solo people started fucking bitching. It's like, you didn't say anything about us solo people in the game. Where are we going to be in this whole thing? And
we're going to be in the background.
And basically, the whole presentation of 1.0, Richard Tyler said that we're going to,
well, they're not going to be building base stations.
It's going to allow for everybody to do everything, right? And everybody in every game style, right? And so he did mention solo players will be, right? But he didn't say anything specific. What are we going to give you guys?
But I want to build a base station.
Well, they ain't fucking doing it. But then he said, okay, and then they were asking about the AI blades. Okay, you'll get the blades. The thing that I'm perplexed about is, like, do these people not understand that these AI blades are only for turrets?
Are they?
Yeah.
What else are you going to apply it to? Are you going to apply it to mining?
No.
Are you going to apply it to salvaging?
Only for turrets. That's what
have they specifically said then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only for turrets.
It's like everybody's like, I gotta have my turrets. I gotta have my AI blades. It's like
supposed to do other things. So.
Yeah. I guess it may still be true.
Guys, and the thing is now with the new resource management and everything, he says it's gonna use up more power. So they're gonna be fucked because now they have to figure out how to, give up something to get more so that they can defend themselves. Because that's all it's for, is defending themselves. Really, that's all it is.
It's I don't know. It's also maybe just a buildup of annoyance regarding the whole pace of things, and why isn't it out now and all that kind of thing.
And I think to Mighty's point, right, is like, I just want to build a little log cabin out in the middle of nowhere, right? And for that, you don't need a fucking galaxy. He's so right. It's like people, they just get so bent out of shape. Granted, they spent a lot of money on it, and I can kind of understand it. But come on, people.
But I want my crow's nest. Where's my crow's nest? I want to build my crow's nest beside the lake. Beside my log cabin.
Well, they can't even they can't build their crow's nest without the freaking galaxy because it requires large. I think it requires that you use large drones to build it so that it can build large drones.
The BLT, as you call it. That's what you need. Since we're not getting the galaxy, huh?
No.
They'll get it eventually. Eventually.
But it's not. But why is the Galaxy module not as good as the BLD?
Whatever. It's like we're still a year or so off, or more, before we get to that kind of shit.
Yes, you can both destroy and relocate. Okay. Just
but obviously, just like anything else, when you destroy it, you only get X amount of your resources back. You're not going to get it all.
Mm-hmm. So, if somebody destroys your building, does it turn into material lying around?
Well, I don't think it's going to turn into SCU crates. I don't know how you're going to recuperate it, but yeah, I'm sure there's some mechanism that they may eventually put into play if they destroy your base, to either repair it to a point where you can convert it back into resources so that you can rebuild elsewhere, or you just salvage it, just like with the gun. You just like suck it all up and turn it into raw material. Yeah, Mighty, the vulture.
We should be glad the devs are actually on Spectrum responding to all of this.
They
could have just been like, fuck off, I'm not gonna respond to this shit.
That would have built up to unreal proportions.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. It would have gone outside and they would have reported it. They probably still will report it, but...
Well, there were people that were saying they want their money back on the galaxies. If I ever see IG, I say, yeah, sure, take it, go, bye. Go away.
Oh, well, the IAE is coming up, so you can melt it and get your BLD.
That's what I said. I said, fucking... Well, the BLD is not going to be available, I don't think.
Isn't it? Not even to buy. Surprised they're not doing that.
Yeah, thanks, fellow. I appreciate that. He's gonna, you and we are gonna like take over my base. Thanks.
That's
well, here's something. Okay, since we're still on this crafting thing, a lot of people, they want to build bases, right?
Mm-hmm.
They just want a place they could call home. I get it. And then there's people that are going to build bases because they need to gather resources, right? From the ground, extraction, and all other crap. The people that are going to have the advantage, not at the time of crafting, because John Crew said the Pioneer will not be ready yet. And usually it takes them a year or so to build a capital class ship.
But he promised us.
They have the largest advantage over everybody. Okay? Because it is, and they stated it themselves, it is literally a mobile base. Right? You have crew quarters and resources, medical beds, all the stuff that everybody's always looking for, right?
Mm-hmm.
The legs, the landing gears, actually have extractors built into them. So what you do is you find a place where there are the materials you want, the resources, and you just fucking land on it. You don't even have to set up a base, or set up the extractors and stuff like that, which what that does is it kind of makes you a lower profile and hopefully not as easily spotted. Hopefully. Plus, you have 4 extra large drones, which means you can build anything, right? Because you have the largest drones there are. You can have up to 1,000 units of cargo, or units for building shit. You also can have a hangar where you can build small ships and bring in cargo and all that other stuff with the ship. You also have a big, giant building location. So, like in the example, they built a fucking tank, right? And I think you can build ships in there as well, which would probably be up to medium size, maybe small to medium. And then you also have workstations, normal everyday size workstations. So you could literally do all crafting, A to Z, resource gathering, and all that shit in a Pioneer. So the people that have the Pioneers are the people you want to be friends with.
Trade
If they want to, they can even sell from their ship. They could use that as a fucking Banu merchantman or a privateer or whatever.
Trade as a Pioneer. Do I have to be friends with him?
No, it's impossible. He likes to kill you. He'll trick you into coming into a ship so he can shoot you.
Shoot me and make some kind of resource out of me. Yeah.
But yeah, the Pioneer is basically the end all be all ship right now. When crafting comes into play and it becomes available.
But that's not a solo ship, is it?
No. But I mean, it can be.
It can be. I don't think it can.
Sure. I fly around and I find a place where there's resources I want to extract. I land a ship there, right?
Mm-hmm.
I cloak it as best as I can, hoping that nobody finds me. And turn on the extractors. The extractors run automatically, right? If I want to build something, right? For whatever reason, I'm trying to keep a low profile. I don't see me wanting to build a building or anything like that. I could just, go on a terminal, say, hey, here's the blueprint I want you to build. Go build go build that tower, right? So then it goes in, it builds that tower. It does it on its own. I can go down into the regular crafting area, program a couple of things, and say, start building this shit. Walk off. Right? All I really need to do is keep an eye on my fucking radar at that point, make sure that nobody spots me. And if someone starts coming in and I don't feel comfortable, I pack up and go. And I got capital class components. So if it's a small ship, I'm not going to be too worried about it getting through my shield before I get away.
Well, you do have a base, so why don't you have a fighter in there and go and attack your enemies?
Because what I'm doing is I'm building stuff to get rid of. I don't want to store shit in there. I want to build and sell. But I could, but it would be a small craft. Or medium. I don't know. Depends. We won't know until they actually give it to us what we can actually store and stuff in there. But I mean, yeah, I'm fucking set with a Pioneer. I can build anything and everything as long as I got a blueprint and the resources.
So let's talk about the blueprints. So we got a rough indication of what we're going to get. Are they going to go outside the box?
What do you mean?
Like non-standard stuff. So I don't know. Let's say they give you a Hornet that's souped up or something. I don't know.
No, so different. Blueprints are going to be basically tier 1. Every blueprint you find should be a tier 1 unless they decide that you got to kill this boss, and this boss drops a tier 2 or something like that, right? That's the only thing I can see them doing. Is if you go after a really, really big thing, you may get a higher tier blueprint, but there's nothing to stop me from getting a base tier blueprint of the same type and work it up to the similar tier. It's just going to take me a long period of time versus someone just got it off of doing a very long, arduous battle, campaign, story arc, whatever. Now, we won't be creating our own blueprints, but they are going to create blueprints for almost every item in the game for us. And I think in the presentation, they said there's going to be at least 1,000 blueprints to start.
As the ominous dark clouds coming over the horizon. So, but we will be able to do some science and basically alter blueprints.
Yes. So when they actually have these things or objectives that are for research, that they call research, right? That will help you to raise the level of the blueprint to a higher tier. Right. So like in the one with the pistol that they were showing, you had to build 100 pistols, right? And you had to create one that had like this huge ridiculous stat, right? And the way you create that huge ridiculous stat is through the values of the component, the material to make it, right? So to make it that ridiculous stat, you had to have like the super high quality aluminum, right? That aluminum affects that stat. So you had to have like the best quality and this, and then get lucky enough to have it give you that score, right? So if you met those two things, then there's a timer to research it to have it go into that tier, right? Which was like 4 days, right? Artificial time. They say, well, we're not going to let you just do it. It's like it's going to take you four days worth of research time to have it happen. And then there was an added optional quest that said if you kill 5 players with this weapon, it will drop your research time by 10%.
Okay.
Right? So that's how you go about, that's one way you go about increasing your tiers in researching your stuff. But those are all going to be determined by CIG. They'll be each applied to each of the different blueprints.
Okay, that should be interesting, I think. Can't wait for that one. To get your souped up weapon or, So would this actually then... Will we have to have auction houses then? Because people are going to want to sell all this stuff that they create.
Yeah, they said that they are going to let us do that. They're going to give us terminals. I don't know. There'll be terminals, and then there'll also be stores that you can set up.
The special stores and the special space stations that only large organizations can have?
No. You can just build a store on, let's say, Microtech. Right? You build a hab, You put some of your stuff on display. You have the terminal in there. People know where you're located. If they like what you sell, they'll go there regularly. And they'll go and they'll buy your stuff.
Okay.
It's basically like Star Wars Galaxies. Right? You knew where the sellers were.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you found someone that sold stuff that you liked and you wanted to keep buying there, you knew where it was at. So you would just go there.
Look at my wares.
And a lot of people have been saying it. It's basically a combination of Eve, Star Wars Galaxies. I said there's some elements of Fallout or what is it? Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got elements from all kinds of crafting games and stuff like that, and they came up with something that seems pretty reasonable. So we'll have to see.
So we're looking at the weather here. Somebody made a meme out of this where they said, why don't you just immediately fly above the clouds instead of just, taking your time going up?
Immediately,
yeah.
like
straight
teleport.
Up. No, straight
go
up.
vertical.
Yeah.
Well, obviously that person doesn't understand the concept of
Would have been at the same issue.
The game, showing the features, all that other stuff. So yeah, they didn't get it. They don't understand marketing. They don't understand, they're just like, well, that was stupid. I would have just flown through it. It's like, okay, so you're not one of those people that enjoy the scenery. You're just a practical person. Just get me out to space right away, because that's all I care about. Shady, I wouldn't mind them allowing us to create our own blueprints, but I think that's probably not in the cards. But we'll see. I mean, there's many things that we never thought they would do, and they've done it. So
it was interesting that this was the first one that they released
Get
in the
uploaded.
videos.
Yeah.
Get this.
Well, that's the one that everybody has questions about, right? 1.0. It's like, what is it going to take for them to stop wiping, for them to stop having bugs? Which, by the way, you never stop having bugs. Just not going to have bugs at the level at which we have now.
Oh boy, I know that.
I mean, look at all the games that have released that were complete and they have bugs or more bugs, whatever. So it's like nothing is ever completely bug free. So,
but the problem with bugs in this game, this is probably where Star Citizen's a bit different, is that so much is riding on, say, you doing missions, and if a bug occurs, you could lose quite a lot of time, effort, and probably money.
Yep. So that's why it's important to get to 1.0 so that kind of stuff stops happening.
But when?
I'm gonna put myself out on a limb, and I know I'm wrong. I'm gonna say that the reason why we're getting Squadron 42 is in 2026 is not because it's going to take them longer to get it polished and bug-free. I'm going to say that it's, and I've said it in a couple of shows ago or whatever, that it would behoove them to have Star Citizen 1.0 release when Squadron 42 releases. Because if Squadron 42 is successful, people are going to jump into Star Citizen, but only if it's a complete game.
So it's nothing to do with GTA 6 coming out next year. Oh, okay.
We don't even know that's coming out.
We don't even know. I mean, we nobody really knows.
I saw that
You
in
know,
our game.
you say it's because of GTA 6. I think it's because they want 1.0 and Squadron 42 to drop at the same time. But that being said, I just can't see 1.0 being done by 2026.
God, no. No. It'd be a miracle if it did.
I mean, they have to have 5 systems, right? Well, let's just say let's go over what the requirements are for 1.0, right? Besides not being a buggy mess and not doing any more wipes, right?
I think the system is doable. The 5 systems is doable. It's just the content is where the issues are. So,
right, because they introduced 5-6 guilds, right?
And it's a reason they showed this.
Yeah. They showed that to say, look, you're not getting 100 systems. That's what they did there. They're like, you're not getting 100 systems.
Well, we kind of already knew that. At least we did. I mean, a lot of the community was like still hoping that they could do that, but realistically, we already knew that was just impossible. And this is
because the 100 systems were based off of isolated landing zones, automatic flying, and all that other stuff. So. I'm glad that they did that to just set the record straight. Say, look, we're not going to get you 100 systems, but we're not going to not try and deliver, right? But, all right, so apart from not having bugs, wipes, and all that other crap, right? The core basic values of a finished game, right? What are they saying that they need to have to deliver this game to us? Well, one of them is basically a tutorial, right?
Well, it's a
full main story tutorial, so that you understand all aspects of the game, because you may not get to understand all aspects of the game when you jump in, right, and understand it.
Well, this seems to cover most of the industrial aspects of the game.
Well, this is the first slide.
Yeah, for that one guild. Yeah,
they do.
That's the main guild
and the main
story.
It. No, they touch on all the guilds in all of the story. In all of the story. They're going to touch on all of the planets. They're going to touch on. So it's going to be a very large, compelling story.
Towing.
Right, it's going to take you to Pyro. It's going to take you to Nyx. It's going to take you to Castra, right? Castra, and then it's going to take you to Terra, right? So it's going to make you hit all the 5 major planets, or not planets, systems, and you're going to have to interact with all kinds of good guys, bad guys, different stuff to get you eventually to citizenship. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
citizenship is required. By the way, they noted that later. Citizenship is required for you when you want to
own property,
own land in the UAE. At least I think, yeah.
Yep,
you might still, so you can still do it in unclaimed systems, but that's the only one.
Yeah, you got a Pyro
in the 5. Two of those 5 main systems that have that. That's Pyro and Nyx.
Yeah, Pyro Nyx. Right, and then so they have to build out that whole narrative, and it has to touch all of these systems, and a lot of systems we don't even have built in yet, right? With all of these guilds, right? So it's like we don't have exploration, we don't have science, we don't have and these are things that they haven't even really started building out. So how the fuck are we going to get this thing released anytime soon? When they got to build out all of these systems just to get the story built out. Right? Because the one example they had was this guy started as a miner, started mining. Then he wanted to get a ship, so he had to go start, doing combat so that he can get the blueprint for a ship, so that he can build a ship, so he can do something else, and then start selling something and make money. As part of a secular story arc.
Yeah, this is what you meant.
Yeah.
I was looking for it. Yeah.
So it's like they got to do that for almost every freaking type of job or guild or, group.
You think it's
again, I don't think this is going to be something that's going to be done anytime soon.
Do you think 2 years has been optimistic then?
Based on my hunch, which I'm probably wrong, getting 1.0 to come out at the same time as Squadron 42, I don't think 2 years is enough.
See, this is a dangerous time now for CIG, because the community is definitely getting reckless. And like another 2 years, you clearly saw the audience weren't too happy about it with that Squadron release date, and having another 2 years.
They weren't.
I mean, you're right. I was disappointed because when you say you're in final polish, you'd think a year.
No,
to come back and say 2 years, you're like, what the fuck?
We said that back then too, right? Last year when he said that, like, we're now in polish phase, we're feature complete. And there were cases in general game development where you see that when they're feature complete, the polishing phase and the balancing easily takes another couple of years. It's not just done within a year. It never is, and especially not for a game like this. So I expected at least 2 years. Now it's about
it's
3.
Actually 2 years.
No, now it's about 3 because he said it was polished. They were in polishing since last year's CitizenCon, so that's 1 year ago. And the game's going to release in 2026. So.
Oh yeah, so it's going to be 3 years.
So that's a total phase of maybe around 3 years of polishing, which is not actually that crazy when you look at the other game development cycles. I think I could have expected maybe an end of 2025 and 2026, and who knows, it might not even drop at the end of 2026. It might be earlier, but that's just being optimistic.
See, another fear about this is that if the community starts getting annoyed about the progress and say, I'm not going to wait another 2 years, 3 years for what we're seeing here, I'm giving up, and the funding could be affected. We're already starting to see that.
No, they're still doing better than they were last year.
No,
it's just what's going to happen is you're just going to replace old backers with new backers.
They've fallen behind now.
People have been raving about the Squadron 42 presentation that are not Star Citizen backers, right? That is going to be a new influx eventually. So, I mean, we all knew it was going to be a long, hard ride. Some people can handle it, some can't. We go through this all the time. It's like we get excited, we get depressed. We get excited, we get depressed, right? It's like the worst relationship you've ever been in. I think what will keep people interested in Star Citizen is going to be Pyro, but I don't think the interest is going to be as big as people think it is. Because it's just another system. It's still the same game.
Well,
right? It's just that now the gankers are going to have a fuck fest because they're going to be, happy to just kill anybody.
I think it's important to point this out. So we're already 35% behind last year in funding. So it's not as like this is the worst CitizenCon I think since 2020. Yeah.
Is that spreadsheet that you're always following that's saying it's 35% behind?
Mm-hmm. That's always up to date. A new version. Now, unless they whip out something spectacular at IAE, it's quite possible that people just could turn around and say, "No, I've had enough."
Well, IAE, we know they're going to, the Polaris is going to drop. Whether or not people are going to, was the Polaris limited?
Well, the Starlancer should have done well, but for some reason it didn't.
Well, no, there's nothing to it that really draws people to it. Remember, when you buy it, there's only two things you were able to buy. You were able to buy the Mac, and you were able to buy the TAC. Right? Neither one of them were really all that great. So is the Polaris one of those limited where you can only buy so many, or is it just when it goes up for sale, whoever wants to buy it buys it?
No, it's always available. Yeah.
Okay, so that's going to fly through the fucking roof, right? Right.
Don't know. The price might jump.
Well, the price is going to go up, but people are still going to buy the fucking thing, right? Because people are stupid. They're gonna buy that shit. We're gonna have the F7C Ghost and Tracker, which people they want. However, most people will melt or upsell from their Mark 1s to the Mark 2s. So I don't know how much more money they would make from that. There's going to be the Starlancer. Starlancer will see maybe a second variant. Because of the videos, it looked like they were showing it sitting next to another Starlancer. So I'm gonna assume that there's at least one or two variants of the Starlancer, right? That they'll be selling.
Okay.
There are Crusader fanboys and girls who are going to want that starter ship. And it looked like it had some pretty big fucking guns too, so who knows. There's going to be the Terrapin med vehicle, search and rescue. Right? Everybody loves Terrapin. You know everybody's going to buy a Terrapin with a medical Terrapin. So that's going to sell like hotcakes. Right?
I hope I'm wrong, but I have a bad feeling, genuinely a bad feeling. The reaction over the whole Galaxy is just, I think something snapped in the community.
It was because it was just an expensive ship. People, the reason why they snapped is because, again, the crafting resonates with everybody. Everybody wants to do the crafting. Anybody that played Star Wars Galaxies is saying, give me that fucking thing now. And then when you say, here's a ship that we promised to do it, and then we're taking it away, or we're not giving it to you right away, they're going to melt down. It's like it was one of those things where it's like everybody's craving for this, and then all of a sudden you fucking. It's like saying, okay, you can have a triple stack ice cream, vanilla chocolate strawberry, but we're not going to give you the strawberry yet. Or let's use chocolate because I think most people prefer chocolate. We're not going to give you the chocolate yet. People will fucking flip out. And that's what happened. It's like you took away one of their scoops of ice cream and they went fucking nuts. Especially when that is
Make
part
them
of...
sound like children.
Because they are. It's because it's one of the pieces of the puzzle to get you to the top.
But I want my ice cream.
Yeah.
Right? Which is the banana split. Right? You need the 3 stacks of ice cream to get to the banana split. So you take away the chocolate. Not only do you not have your triple cone ice cream, but now you can't even get to the freaking banana split.
All right.
So yeah, people are gonna flip out. I mean, we've had people flipping out for some of the stupidest shit. This one, I kind of give them a little bit of credit, but I think they overdid it because they didn't bother to read between the lines or read
of course, they overdid it.
the thing properly. They just knee-jerk reaction. Oh, we're not going to give it to you right now. What? You're not giving it to me? They didn't get the not now part. You know, it's like, and they just flipped. It only takes one person to say, hang them now, to get everybody else in the crowd to start doing the same shit.
And something that was also really heavily debated in the community the first couple of days after this was this shit about insurance and LTI and warranty and and then what was it? Somebody made a statement about this. Actually, so we should cover this first, though.
What do we want to cover first?
Because this is what the 1.0 in the explanation about how insurance works.
Yeah, but you're bouncing back and forth on the screen, so I'm trying to... What do we want to talk about first? Insurance, ship piracy, what?
Well, for one, so this. Ship ownership works as such. Your ships and high-value items are automatically assigned, and you can mark ships as stolen, which activates a dead man switch, which I guess... how did he explain it?
It basically...
Makes it unusable?
Makes it unusable.
X amount of time.
And then that's where people have to pack it.
Yeah, so a pirate can then, before that happens, a pirate can salvage it or dismantle it, or hack it so that you can pay black market shit people for a new title deed, making it legally yours. Legally yours.
Yeah, that's stuff that they've mentioned in the past that they were going to do.
It's kind of cool.
I think the biggest thing is the LTI and the warranty is what was freaking everybody out.
Where was that anyway? That
was such a large... right at the beginning. At the beginning with when they started talking insurance. So they basically said there's going to be multiple types of insurance. One of them is medical, which we don't pay right now.
Medical insurance on hospital imprints.
Yep. So we're going to have to start paying for saving our imprints, right? Inheritance tax we kind of knew about. They mentioned a long time ago. Where it's like the inheritance tax is a little bit like you lose some of your reputation, you may lose some money, whatever, but you don't lose your ships. You still move everything over to your next of kin character that you replace your dead spaceman with. Right. Then there's base security tax if you're on a legal, or not illegal, but if you're in a UEE protected planet or system.
Yeah, you pay taxes for the protection, basically.
Yep. Then there's ship insurance, which is where a lot of people were flipping out over.
Okay, let's talk about a couple of them then. So, let's say the base security tax. So what happens if we don't pay it?
They actually did talk about that. I was watching I was going through the videos again today a little bit. Basically, what happens is they won't protect you. Your stuff will start to fall into disrepair if you don't maintain it. And so there are repercussions for not paying.
the medical insurance is curious. So what happens if you don't have that?
It'll probably be where you can't transfer your profile. So let's say I'm in Stanton, right? I get through Pyro and Nix and I make it to Caston, and I want to put my profile there, and I don't have the insurance to cover it. So it's like, sorry, we can't save your imprint.
So then if you
die,
wake up back in Stanton.
You wake up back in Stanton.
Yeah, yuck.
That's the way I envision it. You know, I don't see where they would make it where you die permanently and have to deal with the inheritance and all that other crap. It's an inconvenience, right?
That's a major inconvenience, though.
Yeah, especially trying to get through Pyro and fucking Nex.
God, that could be horrible. Let's say you're going from one side of the galaxy to another, and you got jumped on and you lost practically almost anything, and you can't afford to pay your insurance.
Yep.
Like that's just.
Yep.
Yeah.
So death of a spaceship, right?
Spaceship insurance.
So some of this stuff we knew. They obviously embellished upon it a little bit. I wouldn't say they embellished on it. They actually clarified it, because a lot of this stuff was kind of mentioned early on. It just was never really clarified. Now it's clarified, right? So the insurance that we get is chassis insurance, right? It is the cost of the ship, the base ship. We always kind of knew that. Now, what they did, though, that's different, which is what we did not know or did not expect, is that they are going to give us cash. They are not giving us our ship back. We always were under the impression we would just get our ship back. No, you're actually going to get cash back. And it's going to be the value of the ship after wear and tear. So you're not even going to get 100% the cost of the ship. You're going to get something less than. Right?
No,
So that's a big fuck you that people did not expect. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going to give you the money for the ship, but it's not going to be the full value. Basically, it's reality, right? When you crash your car, the insurance company doesn't say, oh, here you go, here's a brand new car. They go, here's how much it's worth. Go buy yourself another car, right? So it's very true to real life. Yeah, we'll get to the warranty in a little bit, Shady. I just want to cover the levels of insurance first, right? And then LTI is basically that tier 1 or level 1.
Yeah.
Right. The only difference between someone having LTI and someone not having LTI, or having like a 2-month, 6-month, 10-year or whatever, right, is that it's paid for that period of time, versus someone that buys a ship in game and they have to start paying their insurance right away. So for all those streamers and YouTubers and everything that are telling everybody, oh, you don't have to buy it with real money, buy it in game, they basically are forcing you to buy insurance and pay for insurance the entire life of that ship. Okay? With no warranty. Okay? Level 2 is basically you get the chassis back plus whatever components you had. So if you had upgraded the components and all that other stuff, or even, if you had upgraded components, you would get the cost of the upgraded components minus wear and tear and all that other stuff, right? And then level 3 is the same thing, chassis components and decorations, whatever the fuck decorations are, right? Maybe paints, maybe something else, I don't know. Okay, so all of those you have to pay for. Now, if you have LTI, you still will only get level 1 unless you decide to pay the difference for level 2 or level 3. So being LTI means I will pay a little less, right? Then I would pay a little bit less for my level 3 versus someone who has the same exact ship decoration components and all that other stuff that doesn't have LTI or any kind of insurance that they got off the website. Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah, level 3. So the decorations part. So if you got this, you paid through the subscription and all that. So what happens there?
Well, I don't know because we
Yeah.
don't know what qualifies as decorations.
Yeah.
Right. We do know that they said anything that we get as like flares and all that other stuff, so subscriptions and stuff, we can always get through some kind of kiosk or whatever. So that may not be applicable. It might be something that's just available in game or something.
Okay.
That will need clarification. Right.
Yep.
So by buying on the store with LTI or any of the insurances, I don't have to worry about paying that level of insurance or the minimum level of insurance until my insurance runs out. With LTI, it never runs out. And then with everybody else, after 10 years, then they have to start paying. If they're still playing after fucking 10 years. All right. However they decide to work that. Now, the advantage is what Shady was bringing up is warranty. So because you bought a ship on the pledge store with real money, you get warranty on that ship permanently. Okay. And what warranty does, it says whatever level of insurance you have, we will give you an actual ship and components and decorations or whatever versus a prorated dollar amount.
Okay.
Right. So I used Vega, for example, one time, right? Vega is all about buying ships in game. So Vega is going to buy a Connie in game, right? And I bought a Connie with LTI on the pledge store. So on day 1, right, we both have a Connie. Now he has to pay cash for his insurance. And let's say he just goes
UEC.
tier 2. UEC, yeah. Okay. So he pays UEC and he takes it to tier 2, and let's just a nice basic number, $1,000. Right? I'm going to get tier 2 as well, but because I'm paying 500 because my lifetime insurance would be 500, I can deduct that and I only have to pay 500 to match what Vega has. So now I'm already $500. I'm saving $500, right? We both treat our ships pretty much the same, right? Don't have too many problems with it. But eventually, we're fucking off. We're not paying attention. And we both crash our ships into the planets, right? Drunk, having fun, whatever. And we've had it for about a year. Not even a year. Just give it a few months, because the way we bang our ships up and everything, we probably lost about 20% of the value of the ship, right? So now Vega gets paid out 80% of his ship in UEC, and he's out of Connie. I, on the other hand, get my Connie back full with everything that I put the insurance for. So, and assuming, let's say the Connies are so prosperous that I can get it back in a day, I get my Connie day 1. Now, Vega has to go to the dealership, right? which who knows how long it's going to take him to get there,
We
depending
definitely
on
get
where
it back
he
day
is.
one.
No, I'm just assuming, right? Because they said I'm trying to keep it all, simple.
Right.
But different ships are going to have different reclaimer times. They said that they're going to go up. But I'm just going, Connie as a ubiquitous ship. Let's say it only takes a day. So I get mine back in a day. I have the ship, I have the components, I'm good to go. I jump back in and I just start doing my stuff again. Vega now has to go to a dealership. Depending where he is, a dealership may not be close by. So he's going to have to either get in one of his other ships, or if he doesn't have a ship, he's going to have to find transportation to get to that place, which is going to cost him. Then when he does get there to buy the ship, he only has 80% of the money, which means he needs to come up with the other 20%, which hopefully he has, to buy the ship. And then we'll take him a day to get it as well. Right? So he now lost however much time it took him to go and buy the ship again, plus 20% of the ship, because he got paid out in cash, not because he didn't have a warranty. And had he not had insurance at all, he wouldn't get shit. He'd be completely out. Me, if I had no insurance, let's say I didn't feel like paying for insurance because I'm ballsy that way, and I have a warranty.
Yeah, but when you claim the ship and you have warranty, don't you still have to pay the?
You still have to pay the insurance.
Yeah, but don't you still have to
be
pay the value drop difference as well?
No,
like you would.
Because I have LTI, let's say I just say I don't give a fuck. I have LTI and I have a warranty. I'm not going to fucking pay any insurance whatsoever. When my ship goes boom, I get a base chassis. Now I got to go buy components and all that other crap, right? Now let's say I didn't have any insurance, right? Let's say I'm one of those guys that bought a 3-month or 6-month package, right? My 6 months ran out. The game's telling me, hey, you don't have any fucking insurance. Don't be flying because you're going to regret it. But I have a warranty. And then I crash, right? And I'm not paying insurance because I got the warranty. What do I fucking care, right? Well, now I still can't get my ship back because I didn't have insurance. So now I have to pay a premium price to get my ship. So it's not like I can just avoid paying insurance. Because I avoided it, I'm still going to get my ship back, but I still have to make reparations of some kind. So it's not like, I'm just going to get it back, which is something that Knobs.
I wonder if the warranty applies if your insurance has run out anyway.
It does.
Does it?
But if your insurance runs out and you crash, the warranty guarantees you will get your ship back. What it does not guarantee
you don't have insurance.
Is that you don't have if you don't have insurance, you're going to get it right away. You still have to pay the insurance at a premium. So it's like if I was paying $1,000, if I had paid my 1,000 UEC for insurance and I crashed, I would have got my ship back with my warranty. Because I didn't pay that 1,000, I am now a risk or whatever, and I have to pay 2,000 for me to get my ship back. So I have to pay a premium. I have to pay above and beyond what I would normally have paid had I been paying insurance, and that's to keep the people from taking advantage of the system. That's why that's there.
I then wonder how this is going to be after like the 1.0 launch. Like
that's how it's supposed to be after 1.0 launch.
No, I know.
Now there's one. Okay, so there's one last caveat. Let me put this in there because it makes a difference. So Vega didn't have a warranty at all, right? Because he bought it in game. However, he completed the story arc, and he got a warranty, right? There's supposed to be a couple of ways you can get warranties in the game. And then so he completed the story arc, he became a citizen, and they gave him a warranty. Now he can apply that warranty onto his ship, and then it doesn't matter. he will always get that ship back.
That's kind of
Because
weird.
he got a warranty and it got assigned to the ship. So he
Doesn't matter what ship he has, he'll get the warranty for it.
well he'll get the warranty and he'll apply it to a ship, and it stays on that ship, and it's only that ship. So if he has 3 ships and he's only got 1 warranty, he's got to pick which ship he wants to put it on.
No, but
Now
you tell me there's
he
no
can
difference between an Aurora and say an Idris.
Correct. There's no difference. So if he puts it on Aurora instead of an Idris, I think he needs a little bit of an education, but you get the point. It's like you could put it on whatever ship you want to. But the thing is like there's a cooldown, so you can't just flip it onto every ship that you're going to be flying for that day, right? So let's say there's a week cooldown, so you have to leave it on a ship for a week before you can decide, no, I don't want it on this ship. I got to put it onto another ship. Then you got to wait another week before you can decide to move it to another ship if you want to move it. And plus, they're hard to get. So he's limited to how many ships he's going to have with warranties because he's buying them all in game. However, if I'm buying all my ships on the store, all of my ships are going to have a warranty.
So, do you think that, what I wanted to ask, like, do you think that after 1.0 launches, after we get to that point, they will keep the pledge store ships online on the pledge store, like that you can still pledge for ships, so that you can get the permanent warranty on it?
That's
LCI won't
really
be a thing at that point, maybe, but.
Well, it really comes down to how much money they need to keep the game going, right?
Yeah, but they must have thought of that before they were making this up.
Well, I mean, they probably know what their plan is or what they think their plan is, but we can only speculate. I think, and I think a lot of people have come to the same conclusion, is that they will stop offering the ships on the store, right? Once we go live and the ship is actually available in game, right? They've already taken the Hornet Mark 1s off the store. You can no longer buy those ever, right? Mm-hmm. I anticipate they will do that with any ship that you can actually buy in game. What they will continue to do, though, is if it's in concept, they'll continue to offer it, right, at different events or whatever. And any new concept ships will be sold on the store. Because they need to keep the money coming in. They're going to make a bunch of money off of Squadron 42, right? They'll make a bunch of money off of Squadron 42. But is it going to be enough to keep the game running if they don't have some other form of income stream for the game, right? The paints, they can sell paints, but how many paints are they going to be able to sell to keep, a game of this size going, right? It's all about the ships, right? Unless they turn subscriptions into a requirement, like WoW, where it's like, play WoW, you still have to pay $15 a month.
Microtransactions.
I mean, there's going to have to be something to keep the money flowing. And there's going to be people that are going to bitch about it, But from what I'm seeing, what I'm hoping, right? I'm good with paying $15 a month to keep the game afloat once it releases and goes live. Right? I'm okay with continuing to buy concept ships if I can afford to do so. I got no qualms with that. As long as it keeps the fucking game alive, I'm like, do whatever. I will contribute where and if I can.
I was back to insurance I was watching Angry Joe, and normally I don't watch him, but I know he's a backer. And the topic of insurance popped up, and they all laughed their heads off as if this whole thing is absolutely ludicrous. And their main comment was, "This is ridiculous because this is too close to real life." You know, I'm not playing this game to be close to real life. I'm playing this game to escape it. And they genuinely thought this whole insurance was just ridiculous. But is it?
Well, so he's got a point, right? It's like I've said in the past, games are for escapism, and games are so people can be the god or the hero, right? And that's how it's always been. You are always the guy, right? You always have all the cool stuff. You can always get all the cool stuff. You can, right? You're always able to beat the boss somehow or another, kind of thing. Unless you really suck.
What do you mean? That in real life I don't have a spaceship?
You have a car. That's your equivalent, or a plane. You know.
It's very equivalent, but it does not fly.
Yes. And then so to Angry Joe's point, it's like Star Citizen does make you pay the price for fucking up. And there are few people that like to play those kind of games, right? The people that play Dark Souls, who fucking, they like it because it's so fucking hard, right? Will appreciate this. The sim players, right? That like the reality of pressing all the buttons and all that crap, you know? So it all depends on who you are as to whether or not it's going to tickle your fancy. I am sure that there is going to be an aspect of Star Citizen that everybody, regardless of what their normal game style is going to like, and they will gravitate towards that. So Angry Joe isn't going to like the part about having to pay insurance for his ships and keeping them, you know, in good health and all that other crap. But I'm sure he's probably one of those guys that's going to love getting into a ship with his buddies and go and fucking wreck people, or go and do some PvP, or maybe hang out in Arena Commander, you know. So I think there's going to be an aspect of Star Citizen for everybody. The trick is finding what that aspect is that you're going to want to play.
It's interesting you mentioned Arena Commander. I wonder what's going to happen there. So is it going to be still separate from Star Citizen, like, you know, a separate game, or is it all? Remember they said they're going to have that in the game itself.
Well, that's, you know, that could be part of it, right? Because in the original Wing Commander, right, you had the sim pod to keep yourself entertained between the missions, right? To practice and shit like that.
But the point I'm bringing up is that, so let's say people saying, I'm not paying any subscription, or I'm not going to buy any new ships or anything like that. So is there going to be an option for people who like that? They just pay the once-off money, and they'll be happy and content with the arena-style games or whatever Arena Commander.
Well, it depends, right? If Star Citizen ends up being a subscription model, which I think Shady said is a bad idea, which I kind of agree. Oh no, Mighty said it was a bad idea because it doesn't really work, except for WoW, because WoW never budged on it and people still play it, right? So, so if there's a subscription model, they probably won't be able to even do that because it's part of Star Citizen. So if you don't pay the subscription, you're not going to be able to do Arena Commander. But if there's no subscription model, you just buy the game and in you go and stuff like that, and they want to hang out in Arena Commander, they can. Now, there's a bunch of there's a new sporting guild, right?
Right.
Which, for all we know, may leverage Arena Commander in game as part of their racing stuff. So imagine they say, okay, well, we're going to build a race in Arena Commander, where you have to fly around this system or whatever, and you're being constantly attacked by Vandul. Right? First, the fastest person without dying wins. Right? Because you're not going to do that in game for real.
Mm-hmm.
But that's one hell of a way to prove your skill, right? Avoiding combat, flying through a racetrack that you have to follow and hit the marks and all that other stuff to survive, and do it in a way that doesn't cause death, especially because we have Death of the Spaceman. So it could very well be tied in if someone at CIG comes up with that idea. Which, by the way, CIG, you're more than welcome to use it if you're listening.
But I think they have to give you an option of the cheap, because not everybody can afford.
Well, the cheap of the cheap is $45.
Yeah.
And it may eventually go up to $60 because that's the standard price of most games.
I do expect.
So right now it's $45, but eventually it could be $60. So, but that is the cheap as the cheap. That's as cheap as it's going to get. And here's the other thing too, right? When you buy a game package, you get a ship. That ship has a warranty. So you will always have a ship. You will never totally be broke. Unless you don't pay the insurance, and of course you don't get it. But I'm sure you can ask a buddy for a dime and pay the insurance and get your ship back, especially if it's a starter ship.
So what about the FPSs? I remember for years people saying they would like an option that doesn't involve a ship.
Well, we have Star Marine, right? I want to say that Chris addressed it, saying, we know you guys don't want it, but the game is really a space game, and you need to get around regardless.
Yeah, but there's a transport network, so
So why are you? Well, here's the thing: why am I going to pay $45? Right now it's $45. I said, why am I going to pay $45 to get into the game to not have a ship? And where I can pay $45, get in and have a ship. Whether I want to fly it or not, at least I have it in case of emergencies or if I need to do something. And then I just wait until my buddy tells me to come pick me up, that he's going to pick me up. And if and my buddy doesn't want to pick me up, he says, look, get in your fucking ship, fly over here, because that's where we're all meeting, and then we're going to go. Then you can get into your FPS.
But we know there's going to be transit systems. There'd probably be an option. I don't see why there couldn't be an option for
transit systems. Transit systems are not going to work for organizations that are in a fucking hurry.
Oh no, okay, no. No, the orgs will look after their own FPSs. That's not the worry. But when there's only like two people, let's call them casuals.
But even if it's two people casual, you got to get to the fucking. You're not going to find a transport that's going to take you to a freaking Nine Tails base to go beat them up. You're going to have to either fly yourself there, or you're going to have to hire a player to take you there. Which, if you hire a player, you're taking added risk, and then you got to hope that he's going to come and pick you up. So again, makes no sense to go into a space game or a game that requires you to travel large distances to go to places to just do FPS and say, I don't want a ship because I don't like flying. It's like, get yourself a partner that's going to do that for you all the time and just put the ship in the fucking hangar and leave it there. Because it doesn't make sense to sell you a package where you don't have a ship. Because you will eventually need that ship because your buddy ain't going to be there that one time.
Are you trying to load in?
Yeah, Pegasus.
Yeah, I did. And I successfully loaded in like once, but the transport system was fucked. Like the train where I was arriving,
Yeah.
and now nothing is loading. Oh,
Well, okay. Anything else on 1.0 or?
Yeah, well, actually, they were.
I mean, I'm really interested in
Endgame.
all of the.
We didn't talk about the end game.
We didn't. Okay. Does this matter to us because
Open
this
worlds.
really is only for a handful of organizations?
Well, no, it can be individual gameplay as well. Look, missions, group missions, server-wide events. Well, I
Yeah, we're
guess
not talking about the
fleet
space
battles,
stations.
Oh, I
Big
thought that
battles
was the
are-
end game.
Military
No,
blueprints.
that's a end game
That's
for
yeah,
organizations.
that's one of them.
Right?
Instance
End game
content.
is being able to get blueprints, being able to do all kinds of shit.
FPS operations. Yeah, blah blah blah. Star
What's
Sim.
Star Sim? Star Sim.
Maybe that's their new name
That's
for
Quanta.
Quantum.
That's Quanta now, is it? Alright.
Yeah, that was Quanta. Richard Tyler made it quite clear he hated that Quanta name. It's like we have too many Quantas in the fucking game.
Yeah,
We're
there's a
gonna
bit
rename it to Star Citizen.
So let's call everything Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then they
The
got
Star
into
Cell.
the zones, the grids, and you can yeah, like you can already do it now. You can take one offline, common links offline. Yeah, ship ownership still. We just covered that anyway. Piracy, high risk
Since you're
rewards,
showing Pyro, let's go back to Pyro because
combined
4.0.
arms. Now we get to the shield stuff. Yeah.
I didn't really understand that aspect of it, but
Well,
I'll
they
wait
were
till they
just going-
clarify it.
They were going a bit too detailed into the lore of how this was based.
Yeah,
But whatever. It's, at least this is how you get to Station Warfare, and the fact that you can buy shares of what was this?
it's some kind of tokens that will protect your bases
protection
on the
satellites.
ground,
Yeah,
so you can't be attacked. So
for a while.
okay,
SEALs token program. Yeah.
I'm not worrying about that.
Resets each week, so it's kind of like weekly activity for endgame players.
We're not even gonna have space stations when 1.0 comes out. I mean, when they introduce crafting, because they said that they won't have the Pioneer ready, and you need the Pioneer to be able to build space stations. So, space stations are not going to be a thing for a while.
No, I guess not.
Anyway, yeah,
Ta-da!
that just said that. Mighty pointed out that current 3.24.2 sucks. They've been putting a bunch of hot fixes in these last few days to try and get
And
it to
still
be
shit?
stable. Let's put it this way: it's more stable than it was. However, there are still some bugs, like if you log in, you can't get to your hangars through the elevators. So you have to kind of like log back out to the main menu and try and hope you get a better server so that you can log in. We's having problems all day today. I didn't have any problems. I did have the hangar problem, but I just went to main menu and went back in and got a different server. And I was able to function fine. Tell us, what kind of problems are you having?
I lost 20 paints today.
20 paints?
that I
Don't
paid
tell me.
for, And now they're
Don't tell me.
no good.
You
Go on.
you took the paints, put them into your ship so you can fly them up to one of the space stations,
Mhm.
and you crashed and lost it.
No, I wish that was it. That would be much more logical.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So do tell.
So I'm normally based in New Babbage because above New Babbage is Port Trellisar, which is a nice spot to operate out of for me taking images of the various different paints for the wiki. Now I have a huge backlog for various reasons, mostly technical, a bit laziness as well. But today I woke up early in the morning on a Sunday and said, I'm going to do the paints for the Zeus, the basic paints and all the 5 other paints. So I got up in New Babbage. I went downstairs. I went to the shop. I bought my MediPen and my drinks and food. Went to the metro system, and then got my first server error. Waited about 15 minutes for the server error to come back, and the train stopped working. So went back out again and logged back in again and started. So again, woke up, went down. Already bought the stuff, so I didn't need to do that. Went to the train station, hopped in the train, went to the spaceport, went to my hangar, went over to the cargo elevator and looked for my Zeus paint. So I put my Zeus paint into my 8SCU cargo box that I had, and what was it? Yeah, I got my hull A, because it's simply slap it on the side and fly up. It was, very easy. Done this many a time. And the multi-tool wouldn't pick up the SCU box, saying it was too heavy. I whipped out my rifle and it said it was too heavy, couldn't work. So I said, oh God, it must be something buggy here. So I brought it back down, and then server error. So I waited, I think, nearly 30 minutes because I went off and did something else around the house, and it came back and it still didn't resolve. So I quit the game and started again. So I think a couple of hours have passed with this. And every time I came back, I always kept getting the server error when I was in the hangar. So about 4 hours have passed, just simply trying to get paints into an SCU box and head up to Port Trellisar and dump it there. 5 hours later, since first starting, I eventually got the cargo box in Port Trellisar. But the problem was that I had to use my Atlas to lift the box and stick it on the side of the hull, because there was a bug, as I said, where the multi-tool and the max lift wasn't working. So I went up, brought up my, as I said, to Port Trellisar. I had to claim my Atlas from down in New Babbage, because you can't put the Atlas on the hull. And suddenly the server error occurred again. Went back to the hangar in Port Trellisar. The hull disappeared. And so the cargo, which was attached to the hull, also disappeared. And the only way I can get it back now is claim it, which means I lose the box.
Don't claim it.
I can't claim it. Well, I can't get it. I can't order it because I have to claim it. I've tried different servers.
No. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do.
What?
You need to die and go back down to. Oh no, actually, you don't need to. Just summon another ship.
Yeah.
Right, because what's happened is it's on your landing pad. It doesn't register it. So when you summon another ship, what's going to happen is it's going to go through the motions of lowering down the hang.
I've already done what you see. I had to put away the hull so I can call up the Atlas. So the Atlas then came up, and then I went to get the hull, and they said, nope, you have to claim it. Yeah, I've lost that. I've lost the helmet I always use for my screenshots, so that's now gone. So yeah, I won't get this back unless I reset my account, and I won't reset my account because there's too much shit in it. Yeah, that's the downside of having everything on your account.
That's what happens when you go hoarding.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have to wait now for 4.0 to get that back.
No, you should get it when they do 3.23.3, right?
It only resets at major builds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I was fucking angry today. I mean, really angry. I was raging, and I said, "No, I'm going to bed and sleep this off." So, yeah, and it's the buggiest. Everything that went wrong could have gone wrong. It was unreal. The game was literally fighting me at every step of the way, just to do something that I've done several hundred times before over the years. And yeah, I've lost faith today. To be honest with you.
Oh, this bullshit! You've lost faith many a times.
I know I've lost faith, but it's just
You have.
really-
You've said it before.
yeah, I have, yeah. But yeah, I was I can't emphasize how angry I was today. So yeah, I can't do that now. So I've given up doing paints for the time being. So
And you'll get your pace back soon enough. They are trying to get 4.0 out before end of the year. So
I have to say I've been in the Evo Caddy and I've seen live for many a day, and this is the buggiest build I've ever seen. Literally everything. The lifts wouldn't work. I didn't include the time that I couldn't. I had to restart again because of the lifts. You know, it was just kept going on and on. For
wait till 4.0 drops. 4.0 is going to be just as bad.
To me, it just everything seems one step forward and 10 steps back.
Well, remember, right? It's like when they do the PTU, right, and they open it up to the waves for everybody, they never get as many people as they can get if they go to live, right? And then so the problem is, and people still don't seem to understand this, even though they've been told time and time again, it's like when it's in PTU and it's live, and I understand people don't want to go into PTU, people don't want to install another version on their computer, blah, 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 whatever. There is never enough players in the PTU to stress the system to the point that it needs to be stressed like the live. And then so when they do all the testing and they find all the bugs or whatever, and they have it to where it's stable, that's as stable as they can get it with the loads that they have placed on it. So when they move it to live, that's when it gets an even bigger load, and that's when shit really breaks.
But see, this is again where I've no faith in 1.0. The whole idea of be less buggy when they release it. I just can't see them doing that.
Well, so here's the thing about 1.0, and if they do it right, when they do 1.0, they should already have all the features in game, right? So they're not adding, like we're going to do with 4.0, server meshing, right? In 3.24, we added freight elevators and instant hangars and all that other crap, right? 0.1 and 0.2, we're still trying to freaking fix that debacle and add more stuff. So
they will be adding stuff.
Well, they'll be adding stuff, but I don't think they're going to be adding stuff at the same level of complexity, right? They're not going to be adding server meshing because server meshing will already be added by then, right? What they'll do is they'll add a new system, right? They'll add new quests for those systems. Those are, already built out systems that are just adding new information to the game. So I would not be as worried about when 1.0 comes out, and I'm obviously being very optimistic. But I'm pretty sure that unless they're going to roll out something crazy like the planet's actually going around in orbit at one point after 1.0, that's when we're going to have that kind of a debacle again.
God, yeah.
So it has to be something monumental for us to be experiencing the same kind of stuff we're experiencing now, where it's like they can't get the kind of testing that they need on the test server versus what they can get in live. So I understand your point of view. You have every right to be cautious. But we all know that every time they release something new, even when it goes to live, even though they've tested it and tested and made it stable, when it hit live, all bets are off because we don't know what's going to happen with the amount of people that are on live. And of course, there are certain things that they put out that draws even more people that aren't normally playing, right? When 4.0 drops, the floodgates they ain't holding anything back. They like non-existent. The fucking water's just gonna flow all over that shit. Because everybody that hasn't played in like forever is gonna be jumping in to check out Pyro. And I guarantee you, because it's the new server meshing, and it's a whole new system, and it's a jump points and all that other crap, that shit's gonna fucking just buckle.
Try the US.
Yeah, it seems like EU is screwed more than the rest.
I cannot click anything.
Oh, you have to go back in. Yeah, you have to go back in.
You're locked to a shard.
Yeah, you're locked to it. Yeah, you have to go in.
Mm.
All right. So
yeah, that happened to me today as well. I was going through the different regions and I was locked on one, and yeah, I had to go back in.
So 4.0.
Yeah. Okay. Test.
So they have been trying to get 4.0 up and running on PTU for the last couple of weeks now. And they've been doing multiple patches. They've kind of tweaked the NDA a little bit, so now Evocati can actually stream.
Is that going to be permanent, or what do you think?
I think they're doing this only for 4.0 because of
hype,
how big of a deal it is. I think that they hear the community whining and crying about how Evocati or some of the streamers have exclusivity because they're Evocati, and then so when the NDA is lifted, they have all of this shit going on to YouTube instantly, and they're streaming and all that stuff, and then so bunch of whiny babies, oh, they have an advantage over me, kind of scenario. But I think it's more hype and keeping people abreast of like, where are we with this, so that they see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Pause.
Figuratively and
Right.
actual speaking, light at the end of that tunnel is what people are looking for.
One thing, the first thing they do is get the writing the right way up. If everything's upside down, or unless the ship upside down, is it?
What?
Is the ship upside down?
No. There is no upside down in space.
Oh, all the text is all upside down. Can't even get that right. God.
I see. I'm looking at the text and it looks fine to me.
Go back. Here you go.
Oh, that text.
Or the
EU.
Hi. I should say bye.
Yeah, he's not lined up to the artificial horizon. But
is this you, Relum, by the way?
That was from yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So they finally have the jump points.
I don't know what the whining was about, though. By the way, 'cause I
Stable?
did this for the first
Well,
time here, and
The whining
wasn't
was
actually
because
that
it didn't
difficult.
work. It didn't work.
No, because it
the
looked
first
like
few
people were
times.
kept failing,
Yes.
being kicked out.
When you don't know what to expect, and it's, you know, people are going in with like these super giant fucking ships that don't have a lot of ease of maneuvering and stuff, people were getting kicked out. The first time I did it, I went straight into the wall. I was not prepared for it, right? And then so
how did
I
you
ended up.
move, Realm? Just curious. Sorry.
Hmm?
How did you move? Did you strife or?
Mostly just aiming and rolling. Because you want to roll like that to cross those pillars. But I was mostly
And
just
did you-
using aim. I didn't use strafe as much. Maybe if I
Okay.
had to more quickly move, I would have done that, but I didn't need to because I was already my aim was already pretty okay, that I knew where I was going. I was going the right direction.
All right, because it's curious because a lot of people did complain about that they couldn't maneuver that well.
Well,
Well,
at
you know what
first
the-
it was very difficult. It
You know what
was
the thing
difficult
is,
at
though?
first.
I think the fact that I have the fact that I turn off the VJoy mode when I'm flying makes this a lot easier in this scenario, because you're not accidentally, drifting your pitch or yaw away from the middle, because when your mouse is just still in absolute mode, when your mouse is still, you fly straight forward, and when you want to turn, you just move your mouse to the side. But as soon as you stop moving the mouse, it's gonna fly forward again. It's the absolute mode, whatever you call it. Instead of the VJoy mode with the thing that where you move the mouse, it moves the like you keep turning unless you move it back to the middle. And I don't do that, not always. And in this case, that makes it easy because you can just correct your steering to where you want to go, and then just let go of the mouse, and you don't really have to do much at all. The only difference here was that when I got out, so this happened here, and I was flying straight at a space station at 2,000 meters per second. I nearly hit it there.
Yeah. So that's a known bug. Everybody knows it. Is like when you come out, you better fucking start changing your modes and dropping your landing gear and all that shit, because you're coming out at a fucking bullet speed.
Yeah, but then why do I end up being in this black void? Because I was in that area at the space station, and for some reason I flew into some sort of a.
No, it's a void. It's not just a dark area. It's a total void.
No, it's supposed to be dark. It's nebulous.
I only saw that thing, at which point I tried to move back to where it came from, and I just smashed into a rock because I couldn't see anything.
It could also be part of the lighting, but either way, I mean, I know that when I was flying around in there, it was fairly dark. So again, it's one of those things where we're still in early Evocati for the 4.0 build. The fact that they got the jump points working is a plus.
Well,
they just need to tweak it to get it a little bit more reasonable. And to answer your question, there are some people that just can't fly.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why. That's another reason why they can't fucking make it through.
I can't fly either. Look.
They just don't have the skills. Boom.
See, I hit a rock, I think. Yeah. Because I couldn't see anything.
So, I mean, it's one of these things where you just have to keep practicing, and eventually you'll be able to do it. If not, find somebody to do it for you.
Broken
I
elevators.
was able to go to the pain in the ass. I hate pyro. It is so fucking dirty. It just. Eesh. I did make it to one of the asteroid bases or hangars or whatever you want to call them.
Was it RAB? Was it
RABs? And they're pretty neat. When I went into mine, there were no NPCs, but I was getting the warning that I was trespassing. And then also when I was going to the base, there was a hostile combatant that came after me that I had to fend off. One of them was a blade at one point, and the other one was...
Yeah.
What was the other one?
It was a saber raven, which
it was a saber. Yeah,
never.
it was
No, it was a raver, but it was a saber raven, which I've never seen an NPC do that.
No.
So they're obviously opening up.
Now we can steal it.
The list of ships that you're going to be going up against. But anyway, I was able to go in. It was cool. I did find that there was a hangar that you can actually open up from within. Because I was trespassing, I don't know if ATC would have worked with me or not.
It would have been handy having a second person, I think, so they can go in, open the door from inside, and then...
Yeah, because I opened it, and then when I flew around to find it, and I found it, the door started closing because it recognized my ship and knew that I clicked on it and said, okay, he already launched, so close the doors. That kind of shit.
Oh, okay. I thought it would have been the time frame. It
could have been the time frame. I mean, it could have been any number of things. You know how ATC can be sometimes. So basically, it started closing on me before I was able to get in. But when I went to the second one, I didn't go into the second one, but it basically was the same layout. You have anywhere between 2 to 3 landing pads, which are blocked. So you can't actually go into them. Because I was trespassing, it wouldn't let me refuel or anything. I don't know if they work that way, but they are external pads that you can land there if you want to. There is, and right by the pads is an airlock that you can go into. And that's how I got in. And then I worked my way around until I was able to find the pad, and then that's when I opened up the hangar. And ran out to try and land and wasn't able to get in fast enough. There was turrets, but nobody fired at me.
There was shops.
So I was happy about that. It looked like there was
that was a shop. That definitely was a shop.
It looked like there was, it was meant to have NPCs in there. They had a bar. Pool table. They had some other stuff. I don't remember if they actually sold anything. I don't think I saw where they were selling like armor or food or anything like that. But it definitely looks like someplace that would be occupied. So I'm like,
I have a feeling that facility is faction related. So if you line yourself with them, then you'll be able to possibly buy and sell from them.
Yeah, again, I didn't see anything that I could buy. Or I don't remember. I was too worried about being ambushed. But I think they were pretty cool. I mean, I could see where if a guild wanted to, they could hold one of those things.
Yeah,
and keep it if they wanted to. Unfortunately, I don't see any beds or anything like that. And again, it's just one hangar of medium size, I think. And it did have a cargo. It did have a freight elevator in it, which was kind of telling. That you may actually have missions to drop stuff off there.
Yeah. Oh, this.
And
yeah,
that's
this is bad.
basically what I did in yesterday's 4.0 PTU. I just went looking for the asteroid belt bases because I wanted to see what they were like.
Meanwhile,
Everybody else
Anybody know a little bit of trivia for you? Anyone know that the theme song to the UEE Navy is it bagpipes playing?
yeah,
We all heard it.
yeah, we heard it when they.
Yeah, we heard that during
on
the.
top of the fleet, yeah. I don't know if they're real bagpipes though. That's the only thing. I think they're
Well,
simulated.
The composer said, well, at least the composer said it was. I don't know now.
Well, they
granted.
did record it,
Yeah.
but it was only like a month ago. I doubt that they had time to mix it and put it into the build that we saw at CitizenCon.
But
I was there.
No,
funny
the
thing, they played that
real
last year.
recorded ones. I mean,
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
the
but we
mix,
heard-
the
Oh,
mix
we
what
heard
they
it
had
during
from
that
last
play.
year was still as the one that they had last year as well.
Mm.
It
Yeah.
could have been the same one.
And
I'm
well,
not sure.
Did you notice that during the when they first introduced the characters, they changed the instrumentation of the motif. They went to a horn instead of that terrible whatever, that double reed instrument that they used last year. They used a horn this year.
I haven't really taken note of that part of the demo yet. No.
Okay, I was just wondering if
I do-
you noticed that or not.
No, I may have to go through it again, but there's one thing that I did notice about the music though was that some of the action sequences are accompanied by some pretty good music as well.
Yeah.
In
The
the
choir, yeah, that was
and the-
impressive. The
yeah,
choir
but also
learning
yeah,
Andil.
yeah, that too. No, this is going to be pretty cool campaign. I bet,
So again,
in all sorts of
most
aspects.
Again, most people were complaining outside of the community that, like, a vast majority of that demo was cutscenes, and even the gameplay that you had was a bit lame. Somebody even said, "Why a turret?"
Well, I did see where people were saying, "Why does it feel like I'm the only one firing from the turret?"
It doesn't.
I did notice that. It's like it doesn't look like a lot of other turrets are firing and stuff like that. And some people were saying that it kind of played slow. And I looked at it and I watched it again, and they're right. It does kind of play slow.
It's the opening though. It's like it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Yeah.
True,
Not going to go
but
very fast.
Didn't he pick the hardest setting? If it's that slow for the hardest setting, it's kind of lame.
I have a feeling that
Didn't,
was just that he picked. Yes, he picked that, but I have a feeling that's just for posterity, and that the balancing related to the difficulty settings may have just not been active at all. That is why what you see isn't actually that difficult, even though he picked like the extreme.
Yeah, it could be. It could be the
Hell
easiest
mode.
level.
So it could have just been the easiest anyway. That effectively was being played.
Or the last successful game Chris Roberts made was 20 years ago, and he doesn't know how to make a good game.
Well,
Hi, trade.
he does know how to direct. When you look at this shit, it's like God.
Great, we didn't pay for a movie, we paid for a video game.
No, paid for a movie. Well, it's a narrative experience.
Anyway.
But yeah.
Yeah, ignoring the grand troll in the room.
The wiki's going crazy over these ships. We're trying our best to identify all of these.
You guys did a pretty good job.
Well, we only
I
took
mean, they're
one.
all laid out in the hollow globe. They're all like neat. They're all labeled.
Not all of them are not all correct, and there's some mismatch. For example, the Bengal-looking ship that got hit by the beam. There was a
Yeah,
shout-out.
but it was the wrong ship. It was the ship on the other side that was they called out. So they need to. There was a YouTube video on it. I think we've called it out. I'm sure other people called it out too. So they'll probably end up fixing that. That's where the polish comes in, I guess.
Another criticism of this was that people saying, why did they change everything 3 or 4 times? Like this is now probably the 3rd or 4th iteration of the King ship, and there's other ships that have been changed.
What the hell are they talking about?
Because he thought it would be bigger.
No, I'm talking about the wasted time and the wasted development time. So if you go by the original concepts that we've seen of the Vandal ships, why weren't they good enough? Why did we have to go through again and again and again?
What do you mean again and again? We've only saw 2 versions. We saw the original version that they showed us, and then they showed us the version that they showed us here when they changed them.
We know that there's been other versions in between. And one of the complaints about Chris Roberts is that, he gets people to do, say, bring a concept and then they fix it about 10 times and everybody thinking, yeah, okay, that's going to be done. And then Chris suddenly changed around and said, no, let's do something else and start again.
I don't know where you got this, that they did like 5 or 6 different versions, but I've only ever seen 2 versions of the Vandal ships. The ones that they gave us the first time with the glaive and the scythe, and then the current blade, and then when they did the one presentation where they showed them in a new design, which is exactly what we see in this video.
So
we haven't seen half of these ships. So where the fuck are they coming up with this shit where they've changed all of these ships? People are bitching just a bitch.
That's the 3rd iteration of the Hunter there, right in the middle.
How do you know that's the Hunter, and how do you know that's the 3rd iteration?
Because I've been following this project.
I've been following this project too, and I've yet to see 3 iterations of the same fucking ship.
And the first iteration was pretty decent, I have to say. So I'm trying to ask, why did they have to go through again? The first one would have been just as good, just as spectacular, and yet this is the 3rd, probably the 3rd, maybe even the 4th. I don't know. I'd say 3rd because that's the only 3rd one I've seen. But why?
And again, what fucking difference does it make?
Time.
I mean,
time. See, we now have to wait till 2026.
Yeah, that's true, but it's like what people bitch about them wasting time with this or them wasting time with that. It's not like the developers who do ships can be switched back to engineering or whatever. They have a team. Go ahead.
We have way too many fucking backseat fucking developers and fucking couch coaches or whatever the fuck they call those.
But the overall criticism
people need to fucking just chill the fuck out and let them finish the fucking game.
We've got tons of ships that aren't done, Rad, so those devs could be working on the brand new Merchantman or anything else.
I am painfully aware of that as someone who owned a Merchantman and an Endeavor and an Orion. Yeah, I get it. I know. I don't know what the motivation was for them to making complete changes to a very large asset like that. I will only hope that is worth it.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's unnecessary, but
well, when you build your own game, tell me if you still believe the same.
I don't know.
Because I think people are everybody thinks they're a fucking expert, and they have the best opinion on how the shit should be done. But I don't see them fucking building their own games or working for CIG. When someone else fucking provides something like this to me and says that CIG is doing a crappy job or they're taking too much time redesigning fucking ships 10 times or whatever, then I'll fucking listen to that.
You don't see us working at CIG because they have horrid working conditions, horrible staff turnover, and everybody quits.
Everybody has horrible working conditions and people are quitting all the time. It's fucking part of life.
Armaleza.
Everybody always wants to point out the bad shit about everything and apply it to everybody. When if you ain't there, you don't fucking know.
I wonder what the Idris particle beam can do that as well.
Idris has
Probably
a
Idris
beam.
don't have a
That's-
particle
that's-
beam.
Yes, they do.
The K pack gives you a
The
particle
K
beam.
pack.
Yeah.
It does?
I don't think it will because it'll be given to players, and they don't want it to be OP. They did that just for. They did that just for
Horror.
cinematics, for story.
Don't worry,
Scare
it's not going to be out for another 10 years, so you don't have to worry about what it does.
I'll be dead by then.
Exactly.
Has anyone taken into consideration the question that I asked? No, I didn't ask in this Discord. Sorry. The question that I posted on a couple of Discords that I'm part of is that consider depth of a spaceman mechanics. How would that affect your memorization blueprints?
They said it doesn't.
They said it won't.
Yeah.
You'll keep it for forever.
You keep it forever. No impact. Earn it once, it's yours forever.
Okay. Well, let's hope that's.
As far as I'm aware, you keep all the stuff that you get, and that includes blueprints. The only thing you will lose is money
And reputation.
Oh,
There's,
yeah.
There's the bingo with Pew Pew.
That's right. So that's the one that gets cut, is it?
I don't know. Is it?
I think that's the one that gets cut. Because they ordered that to go forward. Yeah, here we go.
With the big guns on it.
Yeah, all the rail guns. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So that's the one. Corvus. I think this is the Corvus, not the one beginning with A.
Augustus. Argus, yeah.
Argus. Yeah.
They said it was the Argus, but it wasn't. The Argus was on the other side.
Argus is down.
There's belief that the Pegasus might also be here.
It is.
The redone Pegasus, but we still can't confirm that yet.
It's the E carrier. We confirmed it the other day.
No, it's not really confirmed. So
they are maintaining consistent designs across all of their capital ships. It said it's a escort. What's in the Pegasus is the escort carrier. We saw that it said it was an escort carrier. That is the new design of the Pegasus. And then your battle cruiser that you always wanted, that was the guy that just got blown up. Because it said it was a cruiser.
Okay.
Well, cruisers are not battle cruisers in real Navy.
True. I will assume that was the battle cruiser.
Oh, it sounds like you're being a backseat dev now and telling us what it is.
Probably.
So, what else? Anything else that we forgot?
Nope.
No, we were supposed to cover 1.0. We covered 4.0.
I'm still doing the show?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we started later.
Oh.
Because European had the time zone
that's
change.
right. Yeah. Sorry.
And we have our time zone change next week. Or is it 2 weeks?
Oh, great.
So we may be back on regular time again next week, or maybe in 2 weeks. I don't know. I got to find out what date that is.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
No?
Yeah. What else is there?
Stay away from live.
Sneak peek.
It's broke.
Well, sneak peek was.
What was there? Sneak peek?
What was a sneak peek?
Oh yeah, it was really lame, wasn't it?
Well, most sneak peeks are lame. Remember the plastic bags?
Yeah.
The trash. This was a sneak peek. Access to security archives authorized.
Are they trying to hint at hacking again?
I don't think so. I think that's just put the card in and the bar goes across the screen, kind of thing, and you press the button a couple of times. You know.
Of course, it looks like pyro.
Yeah. Oh, it is.
I guess they're trying to promote pyro.
Yeah.
What?
It's a pity that there's no hacking gameplay, proper hacking gameplay yet. I think that's missing really.
Are we getting any paints?
So yeah, it's a
I know
question mark. Yeah, it's a big question mark over these. So these are themed to the 4 main pyro gangs or organizations. Now we're not sure. These are in the game files. We're not sure if these are going to be buyable or are these to do with reputation because you associate yourself with that particular organization.
Well, if it's a reputation-based thing, I'm pretty sure you won't be able to buy these.
Yeah, that's the thing. So this will be a change.
These must be rewards.
They could be.
Yeah, it's quite likely that this could be. But if it is, then that's a big money opportunity missed by CIG. There's 2 missing, I think, here. They're not in the files. I don't know why there's only 4 here. And
they may just limit the ships.
Also,
to the different factions that they have access to.
Also, for some reason, if you go back one, so you can see the Valkyrie there in the top middle. So that's actually named Terrapin. All the Valkyrie ones are called Terrapins. So I just want to stress that. Yeah, in the game files. So I think it's probably could be a mistake, but why would they bother making the model in the first place? So unless they are going to come up with another Terrapin, but I think CIG should sell these. If they want money, this is how they get the money. People buy paints.
Yeah, but then everybody bitches about how everything with them is all about the money, and you can't get anything in game.
Well, they need the money. Without the money, the project fails. There's no if, buts, what's about it.
They have the money.
Well, no, the money goes into the door the minute they get it.
But you've complained about that so many times. They're doing money grabs. Come on, it's one or the other.
I have to play both sides.
It's like sometimes you got to throw people a carrot and let them, get something in game. I mean, I think that having these as rewards, faction rewards, would be a good thing.
Well,
you play both sides to come out on top. I don't know about that, Mighty.
Well, I think CIG will throw everything out there this year if they need the money, and because getting the money now will also help next year as well. That's how they usually operate a year ahead. They have to show that they have X amount of money, so then they can go to a credit bank and say, I need a loan of, say, 50 million to pay next year's wages and all that. So you have to show that you have to have a decent amount. So, yeah, I think they should be selling this if they had any. We can worry about rewards when the game is up and running.
Are you sure you're not just saying that because you like skins and taking pictures?
No, but
it's
these are
no, it's business sense. It's a business sense.
Faction based. Yeah, I know that does make some business sense. But if these are faction skins, in no way would they just let any pleb buy them for real money on the pledge store, sporting the faction skins when they're not even related to them. No, that's like me buying. I don't know, a slapping giant shell stickers
Paint
on
job
my
on your car. Yeah.
car and being like, I'm the
Shell.
boss. I'm the boss of Shell or whatever. Bad example. I don't know. It doesn't seem very narrative friendly.
Well, it's a way of getting money, so it's possible that they do this. But I understand. They're themed around the organizations that we're supposed to be. Yeah. It's now loading simulation for him. Yeah, and he's stuck and he can't get in because he's tied to that bloody server now. I think Pegasus...
Join off of a friend or someone else.
Actually, that's a good idea.
I don't have any friends.
What?
No. Oh, wow.
I like that laugh, Rad. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Never.
Okay.
Let's try.
You're never gonna get anywhere.
Yeah, but you don't have any friends yet. I think the friends you have are probably not even online.
Yeah, but this is a common problem I've seen on all day today with many people. It's particularly the European servers are just bad at the moment. But because it's the weekend, it's Sunday, the devs are not.
No one's going to fix this, yeah.
So until tomorrow, so.
What?
Yeah,
They don't work on Sundays night?
No,
well, sometimes they do.
Not true. That's probably not true. There's always an emergency maintenance staff available, and people that monitor shit. I'm sure they have those rotations.
Yeah,
you can't let everything
maybe not
alone.
yet. I mean, they don't have.
Yeah, they do.
To have.
Because
they've been having hotfixes dropping all week and last weekend.
See, I have no friends online. None of my friends.
They had hotfixes dropping last weekend because they had forced overtime.
Let me get into a server then and rescue you.
Yeah, they were on crunch.
From this shit.
For no reason. They were on crunch because there's a deadline in 2 years. Solid management, CIG.
We don't know what their crunch was for.
Exactly, because they didn't give us anything.
Because we don't work for them, so we don't have a clue we don't work there. We don't know why they needed the crunch, but apparently they needed the crunch. Again,
for something they're going to release in 2 years, they need to crunch now. That doesn't. Make any sense.
You're assuming that applies to.
No, I'm not assuming. I'm not assuming anything. I'm saying that they didn't give us anything at Citizen Time.
We go now.
No, the crunch could have been about trying to get the server stable for the people that are playing live.
Hold off. I want to finish the show here. Okay.
White Knight, you can just suck his dick already.
How do you know I haven't?
Your company is just going to spend. Is just going to spend money for overtime just for nothing.
Anyway, notes. So, Day of the Vara is still going on. If you want to get your helmets,
Halloween.
Yeah, that's finishing at the end of the month, obviously. And you better save for IAE, which starts on the 22nd, and it's again at New Babbage.
November.
We saw the files. Yeah, there's a lot of ships coming out then. A lot of ships. I think there's probably 7 to 10, I think, including variants. It's a ridiculous number. So get saving now.
All right.
Don't give them any more money until 1.0 comes out.
No cash till Pyro. There's now no cash till 1.0.
No cash until 1.0.
All right, everybody. See you next week then, and we'll stay safe, stay awesome. Bye.
Stay logged in. Goodbye.
Keep loading. Keep loading.
I support the monkeys.
Keep loading.
Do you? Check out The Base. 24/7 online radio. Oh, yeah! Visit us at TheBase.sc. They're professionals.
Are we loading?
Oh, I can join friends.
You friends?